inform you of the passing of Mr. Elijah Olaluyi, a dedicated photojournalist with New Telegraph newspapers and a respected member of the House of Representatives Press Corps. Mr. Olaluyi, age 62, passed away Thursday, October 17, 2024, following a brief illness. Mr. Olaluyi's unwavering dedication to covering the activities of the Green Chamber, alongside his decades of media experience and pleasant personality, has left an indelible mark on the House. He was known for his friendly disposition, which endeared him to many, and for his deep institutional memory of the House, which made him a valuable resource for both journalists and members of the Parliament. In this regard, I respectfully request that the House of Representatives join in condoling his bereaved family, the House Press Corps, and the Nigerian Union of Journalists during this time of grief. I also propose that the House observe a minute silence in his memory to honor his contributions and service to the House and the journalism profession. Thank you for your attention to this request. May his soul rest in peace. Signed, Rep. Akin Rotimi Jr., spokesman of the House. Shall we rise? May his soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, today we have students from Central Emirates International Academy, Abuja, who are here with us to observe our proceedings. Please, if you are around, can you rise for recognition? Please, can we appreciate them? Please sit down. We also have students from Newgate University, Minna. Students from Newgate University, Minna. You are most welcome. Please, can we appreciate them? Please sit down. An announcement coming from the Committee on the Review of Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The announcement reads as follows. This is to inform all members of the House of Representatives Committee on Constitutional Review. The meeting of the committee is scheduled to hold as follows. Date, today, Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Time, 3 p.m. Venue, meeting room 447, House of Representatives, new building. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Signed, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezikalu, CON Deputy Speaker. The next announcement is coming from Honorable Aminu Jaji, the ad hoc committee chairman for Abuja Kaduna Kano Road, who is also announcing that a meeting will take place today, Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, at room 1.03 by 3:30 p.m. Any member with petition? Professor Lillian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Professor Lillian Orobu, I represent the good people of Oka, North and South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, this morning, I rise to rely on Order 8 Rule 5 of the House Rules to suspend all relevant rules to enable
Prof, we are on petition.
Oh,
not
sorry,
motions
sir.
of urgent public importance. Yes, my dear brother.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mark Obeta, the member representing Onsuka Igbeze South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from Yusra Fubadike and Co. on the unlawful dismissal of Mr. Victor Ugu with force number 427672 from Nigerian Police Force. This petition was signed by S.R. Ugoke Esquire. With the kind permission of the Speaker and the leave of the House, may I lay this petition?
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? Yes, Honorable Rotimi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Akitunde Rotimi Jr. I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency, comprising Ikole and Oye local government. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of Human Rights Radio and TV concerning a matter between Bywater Nigeria Limited, a United Kingdom-owned company, and some of their staff. Mr. Speaker, is with respect to unjust redundancy of their senior staff and refusal to remit pension contributions in line with all labor laws in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I seek the leave of the House to lay this petition for due consideration. Sir.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions?
Thank you.
No? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first motion of the day is coming from Honorable Dabo Ismail Haruna. If Honorable Dabo is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Dabo Ismail Haruna, member representing Toro Federal Constituency, and I'm from Bauchi State. Kindly permit me to seek the leave of the House to suspend our relevant rules, Rule 8, Order 8, Rule 5, to enable me to take this very important motion. I so move.
You didn't indicate, did you read the title of the motion for the members to decide whether it is important enough and urgent?
Okay. The title is Urgent Motion on National Public Importance to Resurgence of One-Chance Taxi Operators in Abuja for the killing of Neemat Suleiman on Thursday. I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg of this motion? Honorable Anka.
Speaker, my name is Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka, representing Anka Tilata Mafara. I'm from Zamfara State. I rise to support the motion that it is very, very urgent enough to be heard. I so second. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. The second leg of the motion, Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My honorable colleague, Honorable Dr. Wale Ahmed. I represent Agege Federal Constituency. I like to second leg of the motion. It is urgent and it's important. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Dabo Ismail Haruna, member representing Toro Federal Constituency, and I'm from Bauchi State. Urgent motion of national public importance. The resurgence of one-chance taxi operators in Abuja. The House, aware that in recent years, the nation's capital has experienced an uprise in the rate of kidnappings and robbery incidents, including one chance from those kidnapped from far-flung suburbs to those kidnapped along the airport road.
Honorable Adodogwa, you are welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you.
From those picked from their estates to those kidnapped at the city center, to those adopted by renegade one-chance taxi operators. Also aware that it has been a tumultuous and scary situation for people living within the capital territory of the use of unregistered and unpainted taxis has further worsened the situation, providing an easy conduct for criminal activities within the capital city. Worried that the residents of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, are living in fear.
Architect Umaru, please find your seats, please. Honorable Victor, you are welcome.
Are living in fear as the security of the nation's seat of power has continued to deteriorate as brutal criminals go about with their daily operations without mercy on citizens. Further aware that one Ms. Nima Suleiman, a legislative aide of Honorable Dabo Ismail.
Honorable Bob, you are welcome to the chamber. Honorable Bob Solomon. Honorable Bob Solomon, you are welcome.
That one Ms. Nima Suleiman, a legislative aide of Honorable Dabo Ismail, was kidnapped and brutally murdered on Thursday, 17th October, at gunpoint at Barnex Junction in Wuse 2 by one-chance operators. Recalls that despite paying ransom in full, her life was tragically cut short. Her body was found between the hours of 9 to 10 p.m. at Maitama Ministers Hill Bridge in Abuja. Disturbed that this heinous crime has sent shockwaves through our community, confirming the escalating insecurity in the FCT, it is our collective responsibility as lawmakers to ensure the safety and security of our citizens. Resolved to, 1, observe a 1-minute silence to pray for late Nima Suleiman. 2, mandate the Committee on FCT and Police, FCT Police and National Security and Intelligence to summon the FCT Minister, FCT Commissioner of Police, DG, SSS, and order relevant stakeholders to brief the committees on the current security situation within the capital territory. 3, also mandate the Committee on FCT to investigate the use of unregistered and unpainted taxis within the capital city and recommend measures to regulate their operations. 4, mandate the Committee on FCT, Police and National Security and Intelligence to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the activities of kidnapping and armed robbery within the capital city and report to the House within 3 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Billy, I think this is a very straightforward motion and we don't have time. We are a bit late today, so please, if you can reserve your contribution and let's get a seconder, okay? But I can yield the floor for you to second.
Thank you. All right, Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa of Sawaru. I represent the good people of Orion Federal Constituency of Edo State, and I'm a very proud Beni Chief. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you very much for giving me that opportunity to second this motion. I just wanted to place that emphasis because of the seriousness of this situation. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this motion, ably moved by my friend, Honorable Dabo. And may I so rest in peace. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on FCT, Police, National Security and Intelligence for further legislative action. Please shall we rise for a minute silence. May her soul rest in peace. The next motion is coming from Honorable Dr. Billy Osaoru. Please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, again, I'm Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa of Sawaru. I represent the good people of Orion Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Beni Chief, and the Obas of Benin Kingdom. Mr. Speaker, I have a motion on urgent public importance on the need for the federal government to come to the aid of the people of Igbo community, Edo State, and to find a lasting solution to the gully erosion devastating the community. Mr. Speaker, I stand on Order 8, Rule 5, to suspend all relevant rules to enable me move this all-important motion. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, QS Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumin MNI QS, member representing Nasrallah Total Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Nasrallah State, home of solid minerals and gas. I stand to second the motion every moved by a colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Peter the Rock, can you second the second leg?
Order, please. Honorable Kero.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Peter Aniekwe, member representing the good and hardworking people of Anambra East and West. Mr. Speaker, I am from Anambra State. I rise this morning to second the second leg of the motion, that this matter is urgent enough to be heard. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Billy, make it brief, please.
Thank you very much, my Honorable Speaker. The House notes with deep concern on ongoing environmental degradation caused by severe gully erosion in Igbo community of Edo State, which has resulted in significant damage to infrastructure, homes, farmlands, threatening the livelihoods and safety of the residents. Mr. Speaker, the House also knows that despite efforts by the Edo State government and the relevant local government authorities, the scale and intensity of the gully erosion have exceeded their capacity to control, making it imperative for the intervention of the federal government. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that the erosion continues to deepen and expand, posing serious risks to the lives, property, and agricultural, social, and economic activities, which are the primary sources of sustenance for the community, and contributing to a broader environmental crisis if not urgently addressed. Mr. Speaker, the House further aware that the federal government, through the Ecological Fund Office and other agencies, such as the Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, has a mandate to address environmental challenges, including gully erosion across the country. Mr. Speaker, the House is cognizant of the need for immediate and coordinated action involving the federal, state, and local government to halt further degradation and provide lasting solutions, including proper drainage systems, reinforcement of affected areas, and community engagement to prevent further erosion. Mr. Speaker, the House is convinced that proactive intervention by the federal government will not only save lives and properties, but also protect the economic viability of the community and prevent further environmental disasters in the region. Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to, 1, urge the federal government to direct the Federal Ministry of Environment, the Ecological Fund Office, and the Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, to urgently assess and take immediate action on the gully erosion affecting Igbo-Yobo community of Edo State. 2, mandate the House Committee on Environment to investigate the extent of damage caused by the erosion and ensure that adequate budgetary provisions are made in the next appropriation bill for erosion control in the community. 3, call on the federal government to declare Igbo-Yobo a disaster zone and direct the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to, as a matter of urgency, visit the affected community and provide emergency relief materials to the affected residents, while long-term erosion control measures are being implemented. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, urge the House Committees on Environment, Ecological Fund, and Legislative Compliance to monitor compliance and revert back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative actions. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? I've always been accused of not looking this way. Chair, Environment.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Julius Babozo-Pondi. I represent the very kind and wonderful people of Butufura constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm an insurance from Delta State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Environment and Ecological Fund for further legislative action. The next matter of urgent public importance is coming from Honorable Gwacha Maureen Chinwe. If Honorable Chinwe is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Gwacha Maureen Chinwe. I represent the good and hardworking people of Oyi, Ayamelum Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my motion of urgent public importance is on the need to urgently rehabilitate Otuocha Omo Omasi Adani Road in Oyaya Melon Federal Constituency. And Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 8, Rule 5, and I pray this Honorable House to allow this motion to be taken as it borders on the security of lives and property of the people of my constituency. Thank you.
Honorable Mark Esset.
Thank you, the People's Speaker. Mark Esset is my name, speaking for the good people of Uyo, Uran, Seratai, and Ibesiposutan Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State, the only state flying in the sky of Nigeria. I rise this morning to support the motion moved by my honorable colleagues. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Second leg. Honorable Cyril.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Hart Cyril Godwin, representing the fabulous people of Bonny Degema Federal Constituency. I'm from Rivers State. I rise to second this motion that is urgent enough to be heard. I beg to second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Morin, go ahead.
My motion of urgent public importance is on the need to urgently rehabilitate Otuocha, Omo, Omasi, Adani Road in Oyaya Melon Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that the Otuocha, Omo, Omasi, Adani Road is a key federal road linking several towns and communities in Anambra and Enugu State, facilitating socio-economic activities and access to markets, schools, healthcare facilities, and other critical services. The House is further aware that over the years, this road has dilapidated significantly due to neglect,
Honorable Alimadaki,
adverse weather conditions,
1 minute, please.
severely impacting the livelihoods of the residents and businesses along its route. The House notes that this road has significantly deteriorated over time, causing severe inconveniences, insecurity, and economic losses to residents, commuters, and businesses in the region. The road's current condition impedes transportation, agricultural activities, access to healthcare, and overall socioeconomic progress. The House further notes that the current condition of this road has led to the increased travel times, high vehicular maintenance costs, and disruptions in the movement of agricultural produce from the rich farming communities in Ayamelum and Adani, to urban markets, thereby threatening food security and economic livelihoods in the region. The House is worried that this road is a federal responsibility and that its strategic importance necessitates prompt intervention by relevant federal agencies, as continued neglect will only exacerbate the suffering of the people, damage to local economies, and jeopardize safety. The House resolved, 1, to urge the Federal Ministry of Works to, as a matter of urgency, prioritize the rehabilitation of Otuocha, Omo, Omasi, Adani Road in order to safeguard lives, support economic growth, and enhance the transportation infrastructure in Oyi, Ayamelum Federal Constituency and Southeast Sub-Region. 2, to mandate the Committees on Works and Appropriation to allocate funds for the rehabilitation of this road, and also to mandate the Committee on Works and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Ikara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Aliu Mustafa Abdullahi. Mr. Speaker, I represent the whole of Nigeria, starting from the State of the People's Speaker, the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, the Ian Zazo. Mr. Speaker, I came through the votes of the good and peaceful people of Ikara, Kubo Federal Constituency in Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Works and Appropriation for further legislative action. The Leader of the House, please can you move that we suspend our relevant rules to take one more additional motion?
Mr. Speaker, I'm Professor Julius Sihanvere Owen. I rise to move that we suspend the relevant rules in order to take one more petition and one more urgent motion. I so move.
Minority?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleague. I remain Ali Isa, JC, PhD. I rise to second the motion moved by our able leader for us to suspend our relevant rules to allow the House accommodate more motions of urgent public importance. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Lillian, please can you proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Professor Lillian Orobu, I represent the good and the hardworking people of Oka North and South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, this morning I most graciously seek the leave of this House to suspend all relevant rules and rely on Order 8, Rule 5 to enable me to move this all-important motion. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Dominic. Oh.
Hello. Once again, Mr. Speaker, my name remains Honorable Engineer Dominic Okafor, and I represent the very hardworking people of Agwata Federal Constituency, including the Solution Governor, His Excellency, Professor Chukuma Charles Soludo. I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion, moved by my sister, Honorable Professor Lillian. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay.
We don't know the motion, sir. We don't know the motion.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, she has not mentioned the motion earlier?
Motion on title, urgent need to investigate the brutal murder of over 10 youths in Igbo community in Oka South local government area of Anambra State on the Sunday 20th of October 2024. Thank you.
Since it has been seconded already, we can put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion, Honorable Lowry.
Thank you, Amiable Speaker, honorable members. My name is Kwamoti Bitrus Lowry. I speak for the people of Jamsa Numa Lamude Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. I second the second leg of the motion. I so second.
Order, please.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
Order.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Prof, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Motion on matter of urgent importance. Title, urgent need to investigate the brutal murder of over 10 youths in Igbo community in Oka South local government area of Anambra State. The House knows that over 10 youths were dastardly murdered in Igbo community on the 20th day of October during the celebrations of the New Yam Festival. Also knows that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guarantees the right to life, liberty, and serenity of all citizens. Concerned that the recent killings in Igbo has created widespread fear and sense of insecurity among the residents of my constituency.
Alazan Ruru, please allow the House to continue. Go and sort out your Kano issue, please.
Please go ahead. Oh, are you done? Please go ahead.
Aware that the violent killings have become a common occurrence in several parts of Anambra State in the past 2 years, the House resolves, number one, to urge the Nigerian Police and Directorate of State Services, DSS, to investigate the killings and ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book within a reasonable time. Number two, also urge the federal government to immediately deploy more security personnel, not just to Oka South and North Federal Constituency, but to the entire state, to restore order and ensure protection of lives and properties. Number three, condemn the brutal killings, observe a minute silence, and express condolences to the families of the victims. Mr. Speaker, the last prayer is that the House mandates the committees on police affairs, interior, national security, and public safety and legislative compliance to send a delegation to Anambra State to hold discussions with the state government and relevant stakeholders on the escalating insecurity in the state and report back to the House in 4 weeks. I so move.
Ambassador.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ambassador James Shaibu Barka. I represent Gombe House Federal Constituency. I am from Adamawa State. I rise to second the motion as moved by my honorable colleague. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Police Affairs, Interior, National Security, and Intelligence for further legislative action. Shall we please rise for a minute silence, please? May the soul of the departed rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 5 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition, Obolio, Enugu State Establishment Bill 2024. First reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, 6 Alteration Bill 2024. First reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, 6 Alteration, completion of part heard cases by elevated judges Bill 2024. First reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, 6 Alteration, accessing verbatim record of proceedings by litigants Bill 2024. First reading. Federal Institute of Industrial Research Establishment Bill 2024. First reading.
The second business of the day is presentation of report of the Committees on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish Federal Medical Center Ikole Ekiti State for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Amos Magaji Gwamna, honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 7th February 2024. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Magaji is hereby invited to present the report. Honorable Magaji, is he around? No? Reports stepped down by the leave of the House. The first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Corporate Governance for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Francis Waebe, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 25th September 2024. And now invite Honorable Waebe to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogane Waebe is my name, and I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. I rise to move for the second reading of a bill for an act to establish Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Corporate Governance and for related matters, HB 1681, for second reading. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Blessing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Blessing Onyecheonu, and I represent the good people of Otukpo, Ohimini Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. I rise to second the motion that the bill be read a second time. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is this bill is an establishment bill, which does not require any debate. So I will just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Corporate Governance and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council Act to establish Sugarcane Research Center, Makarfi, Kaduna State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Umar Shehu Ajilo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. And I invite Honorable Ajilo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the Nzozo GCON. My name is Umar.
Honorable Ajilo, please can you sit down, please? I think I skipped the order of the paper. We'll call you later. Sorry, the last reference I made was no constitutional review. It's supposed to be Committee on Commerce for further legislative action. Please, let's take correction then. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended to create new Oyo State, with Oyo Town as the capital city from Oyo State. Effect consequential change of the name of the remaining part of Oyo State to Ibadan State, with Ibadan City as capital city, and define the local government areas comprising the two states and for related matters. Standing in the names of Honorable Adeyemi Akim Adeni and 6 others. Honorable members who recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, October 10, 2024. And now invite Honorable Adeni to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable members, my name is Honorable Prince Hakim Adeniyi Adeyemi. I represent the good people of Afidio, Atiba, Oyo East and Oyo West. I'm from the Payseta State, Oyo. Mr. Speaker, I rise to stand in for the debate on a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to create new Oyo State with Oyo Town as the capital city from Oyo State. Effect consequential change of the name of the remaining part of Oyo State to to Ibadan State with Ibadan City as the capital city and define for local government areas comprising the two states and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, sir, I so move.
Any second, Honorable Okafor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My colleagues, I remain Honorable Chike John Okafor, PhD. I represent the good people of Ehimembano, Ihitu Boma, Obo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Imo State, and I rise to second this very landmark historic bill. I second it, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Order, please.
Again, is a straightforward request led by 6 members, which I believe must have received the permission of all members of Oyo State caucus, so we'll just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to create new Oyo State with Oyo Town as the capital city from Oyo State. Effect consequential change of the name of the remaining part of Oyo State to Ibadan State, with Ibadan City as capital city and defined for local government areas comprising the two states and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council Act to establish Sugarcane Research Center, Makarfi, Kaduna State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Umar Shehu Ajilo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, July 23, 2024. I now invite Honorable Ajilo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Nzazo GCON. My name is Umar Ajilo. I'm a member representing very good people of Makarpi and Kudan Federal Constituency. I am from the northwestern Nigeria of Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the bill so an act to provide the establishment of the Sugarcane Research Institute, Makarpi, and to provide for the matter connected therewith. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Honorable Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable parliamentarians of this House. My name is Honorable Mohammed Dang Abashehu, member representing good people of Zaki Federal Constituency. I am from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this bill to be read for the second time. Thank you. I so move.
Honorable Sada, please can you approach the chair? Any seconder? Oh, it has been seconded. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Ajilo, I think, again, this is an establishment bill which does not require much debate, so go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council Act to establish Sugarcane Research Center, Makarfi, Kaduna State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions for further legislative action. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate On the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of the Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Iket, Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Opolum Ete, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2023. And now invite Honorable Ete to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Ete.
Good morning, Your Excellency, my respected colleagues. My name is Ete Opolubum. I represent the good people of Eket, Una, Esreket, and Ibona Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to move a motion for a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Eket, Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters, HB 363, be read the second time. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Akarachi.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Engineer Akarachi Olushema Tosa, Etiosa Amadi. I represent the good people of Mbitoli, Ikeduru Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Imo State. I humbly rise to second this motion moved by my honorable colleague. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again.
Order, please. Honorable colleagues, please return to your seats.
Again, this is a bill, this is an establishment bill, so we need not to actually go further to debate on it. So I go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Eket, Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is a motion on the need to safeguard Nigeria's orbital slots to prevent potential financial loss of $400 million to Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya. Honorable Shagaya is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya. I represent Nigerians, starting from Asa, Ilorin West, Federal Constituency of Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to move a motion on the need to safeguard Nigeria's orbital slots to prevent potential financial loss of $400 million to Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House notes that Nigeria has been granted 3 orbital slots by the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, essential for satellite placement in geostationary orbit. These slots are vital for telecommunication, broadcasting, weather monitoring, and national defense purposes. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House also notes that presently, just one of these slots is utilized through NIGECOMSAT-1, leaving the other 2 vulnerable to reassignment if left unused by the deadline of December 6, 2024. The House further notes that the expense of acquiring a new orbital slot is approximately $200 million, and the loss of these slots would not only result in a significant financial loss, but also impede Nigeria's technological progress and economic development. The House is aware that numerous factors contribute to the underutilization of these slots, such as financial limitations, inadequate technical infrastructure, and delays in policy implementation. The House is also aware that the critical significance of these orbital slots goes beyond technological progress to include national security, disaster response, connectivity, and navigation capabilities. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House is concerned over Nigeria's increasing competition with other countries for orbital slots, driven by the rising global demand for satellite services, which could lead to the permanent forfeiture of Nigeria's assigned positions. The House acknowledges that it is imperative for Nigeria to expedite satellite development processes, secure necessary funding, and explore partnerships with private companies and international space agencies to fully utilize these orbital slots. The House recognizing that protecting Nigeria's orbital slots goes beyond technical aspects. It is a critical element for national security, economic empowerment, and global standing. It is crucial to optimize the use of these slots to establish Nigeria as a significant player in the ever-changing space sector. Therefore, the House resolves to 1. Urge the federal government to prioritize the protection of Nigeria's orbital slots and investment in satellite technology to ensure the full utilization of Nigeria's allocated orbital slots before the impending deadline. 2. Also urge the federal government to ensure timely registration and renewal of Nigeria's orbital slots and establish an oversight mechanism to monitor progress regarding the utilization of the orbital slots and ensure compliance with the International Telecommunication Union regulations. 3. Further urge the Nigeria Communications Satellite Limited, NIGECOMSAT, and the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASRDA, to intensify efforts in developing and launching satellites that will occupy our slots to prevent their forfeiture. 4. Mandate the Committee on Digital and Communications Technology to conduct a comprehensive review of Nigeria's current utilization of its orbital slots and report back to the House within 2 weeks. And finally, mandate the Committees on Digital and Communications Technology and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
It's not bad. 16.
Honorable Akwime.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the man who is women friendly. My name is Regina Kume, representing the good people of Benue State, Bokutaka, Benue State. I rise this afternoon.
Professor Lillian, Honorable Maureen.
Second the motion ably moved by my dear colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Digital and Communication Technology for further legislative action. The sixth order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the road infrastructure development and refurbishment investment tax credit. Standing in the name of Honorable Mansour Musa, Honorable Musa is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. GCON, Yenzazo. My name is Honorable Mansour Musa. I'm representing the entire good people of Aleru, Gwandu, Jega Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, and honorable colleagues, I'm from Kebbi State. Urgent need to investigate the road infrastructure development and refurbishment investment tax credit scheme and address concerns of inefficiency and potential corruption. The House knows that the road infrastructure development and refurbishment investment tax credit scheme was established by Executive Order number 007 in 2019. The House recalls that the federal government then stated that Nigeria needs 348 trillion over 10 years to bridge the nation's infrastructure gap. The House observes that this tax credit scheme
is meant to encourage private sector participation in road infrastructure development in Nigeria. It allows companies to recover costs incurred in constructing or refurbishing eligible roads as tax credits against their future company's income tax, CIT, liability. The House further observes that 5 years after its inception, the scheme's effectiveness, which hinges on the viability and cost efficiency of projects undertaken, is yet to be ascertained. The House is aware that the selection process and onboarding of beneficiary companies by the Roads Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme Management Committee lacks transparency and clear eligibility criteria. The House also aware that there is limited information on the project evaluation and approval process. The House resolves to 1. Determine beneficiary eligibility and selection process by examining the criteria used by the Schemes Management Committee to select participating companies and determine if they align with the scheme's objectives. 2. Ascertain the impact on road infrastructure development to rule the evaluation of the impact of the scheme on road infrastructure development in Nigeria. 3. Identify the challenges and limitations faced by participating companies and recommend solutions. 4. Review the transparency and accountability mechanisms in place to ensure the scheme's effectiveness. 5. Mandate the House Committee on Works to urgently conduct and investigate hearing on this tax credit scheme with a view to addressing the above concern and of inefficiency and potential corruption. I so submit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues.
Yes, my dear brother.
Amendment.
Oh, amendment?
Amendment, yes.
Amendment.
Amendment.
Who are those?
Amendments.
Okay, let me start from here. Architect, are you for amendment? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I'm Honorable Muhammad Mukhtar Zannan Kazauri, member representing Kazauri Roni Gwiwa Enkwashi Federal Constituency. I rise to amend the prayer to mandate the Committee on Finance to investigate the road infrastructure developments, to add on Committee on Works also, because he only says mandate the Committee on Finance. So the amendment is to include Committee on Works. There's no works here.
Any seconder to this amendment? Yes, Honorable Jimo. Honorable, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Bayo Balogun, member representing Ibeju Lekki Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos.
Are you from the proposed Oyo? Old Oyo?
Ibeju Lekki Federal Constituency. The emerging economic and industrial hub of Nigeria. The landlord of Dangote Refinery, Deep Sea Port, Free Trade Zone, and all the important industries in Nigeria today. Thank you, Mr.
Very
Speaker.
noted.
Hereby rise to second the amendment as made by my honorable from Kazaure. I so support.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Any more?
Yes, one more amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Cyril.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Hart Cyril Godwin. I represent the fabulous people of Bonny Degema Federal Constituency. I'm from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, this is an investigative motion. They need to investigate. So I would want to amend the prayers that we delete 1 IA and IB, because we can't be urging them again and also be investigating them. So I will leave just 2, which says mandate the Committee on Finance to investigate the road infrastructure development and refurbish investment tax credit scheme to address the efficiency and corruption in the scheme and report within 4 weeks for further legislation. So I'm deleting the whole of I to leave them to just do the investigation. The other terms should be like terms of reference for the committee to handle.
Is it prayer 1
So
you are
I'm
talking
deleting,
about?
Yes, I'm deleting that's the first prayer, IAB, to be deleted.
I for 1, Roman 1.
IAB.
1A.
IACD, all deleted, just to leave prayer 2 for the committee to investigate. We can't be urging on one hand, and on the other hand, we're investigating. We don't urge the ministry and also investigate the ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to this amendment? Any seconder? Somebody wanted to raise up his hand and then he changed his mind halfway. I don't know for what reason. The pastor.
Thank you very much, the humble speaker, the speaker that had capacity to even pick our hearts and our body language. Distinguished honorable speaker, my name is Honorable Pastor Ojema Ojoto. I represent the very good people of Apagatu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the amendment as ably moved by my very good friend from Rivers State. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Who did we earlier recognize to second this motion? I think it's either Honorable Mohammed or the one behind. I don't know which of the two. But let's yield that you are the younger of the two.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mudashiru Lukman Alani is my name, representing the good people of Iwua Yediriolaoluwa Federal Constituency. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Mansour. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of these motions as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Finance and Works for further legislative action. I think those are the only 2 committees proposed, right? Thank you. The next order is the 7th order of the day, which is a motion on repositioning Nigeria incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending, NIRSAL, for agricultural lending and the risking of agribusiness in Nigeria. Standing in the name of Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo, Honorable Idem, is it a mistake here? Honorable Uchenna is hereby invited to move the motion. Is Honorable Uchenna around?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, the youth-friendly speaker, my dear honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo. I speak for the good, hardworking, and youth-friendly people of Idemili North and South Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, dear honorable colleagues, I rise today to move a motion on repositioning Nigeria incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending, NERSAL, for agricultural lending and the risking of agribusiness in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, the House notes the ailing economy of Nigeria, severe impoverishment across the nation.
Honorable Gwale, it's good to see you wearing this cap. It fits you very well. Congratulations.
The House notes the ailing economy of Nigeria, severe impoverishment across the nation, as well as the increase in hunger due to decreased agricultural productivity triggered by low capital investment and insufficient funding of agricultural production. The House also notes that in 2011, the Central Bank of Nigeria launched and incorporated the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, NERSAL, as a dynamic, holistic, $500 million public-private initiative to define, measure, price, and share agribusiness credit risk. The House is aware that the objectives of NERSAL is to enhance agricultural value and financial value chains by promoting good practices in agricultural financing, loan utilization, and repayment, thus reducing the risk of agricultural lending. The House is concerned that the agricultural sector, which accounts for 40% of the nation's gross domestic product, GDP, and provides for over 60% of employment, has experienced slower growth recently and is underperforming despite enormous potential. The House is convinced that to reverse the trend, there is need to tackle the challenge of underfinancing of agricultural value chains by providing NERSAL with an additional $3 billion for lending to agricultural value chain actors across Nigeria. The House is cognizant of the need to reduce bank breaks, even interest rates to agricultural value chain borrowers from 7.5% to 10.5%. The House therefore resolves the following. 1, urge the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to increase agricultural lending to banks from 1.4% to 7% of total lending within the next 5 years.
Are we celebrating? In the next few minutes, you will give me a good news? Okay, thank you very much. I can see it. All know wearing red caps. Congratulations in advance.
Congratulations, leader. The House resolves to urge the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to increase agricultural lending by banks from 1.4% to 7% of total lending within the next 5 years, ensure 50% of lending to smallholder farms through microfinance institutions, farmer cooperatives, and the Value Chain Commodity Association at an interest rate of 7.5 to 10.5%. The House mandates the Committees on Banking Regulations and Agricultural Production and Services, Nutrition and Food Security, and Finance to monitor compliance and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move.
Before we put the question or call for a seconder, I don't know whether we can take some few minutes to discuss about this. Any member who wants to contribute to this motion? Contribution? Let's contribute, then we call for amendment thereafter. Honorable Rotimi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Akitunde Rotimi Jr. I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency comprising
Chair Environment, please, let me see you later. Chair Environment, after, please, I would like to see you.
Comprising Ikole and Oye local governments. Mr. Speaker, I rise to contribute to this. No, he said contribution. I rise to contribute to this very important motion. As we might be aware, the House, that the CBN recently inaugurated a new board and management for NERSAL. And I think this is a very, very timely motion to be able to give them guidance on how to be able to fulfill their mandate. As we know, food security is very important, and access capital is very important for small holder farmers. So, Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion very, very strongly in support of Honorable Okonkwo. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for your contribution. We'll just take one more contribution and then take amendments. My dear brother from the proposed brand new Oyo State.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable member, my name is Honorable Prince Akim Adeniyi Adeyemi. I'm speaking for the people of Afidjo Atiba, Oyo East and Oyo West. Mr. Speaker, as good as this motion is, I want this House to look into the interest rate of NISA. Mr. Speaker, in the Night Assembly, I was the chairman of Communication Committee. I'm fully aware of NISA. They are making use of post offices across the country so that NISA agricultural loan can get to the nook and crannies of Nigeria. But Mr. Speaker, the Nigerians are not patronizing NISA. The reason is that their interest is high. It's too high for Nigerian farmer to approach them. In as much as we are asking for more money for NISA, the committee that will be referred to should also look at the interest rate NISA is giving out to Nigerians. If their interest rate is so affordable, Nigerians will patronize NISA. That is my point, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Amendment? Yes, Honorable Zana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Usman Zana, representing the good people of Kagao, Gubiyo, Magomeri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. My amendment is on prayer 1. When you talk of urge the Central Bank of Nigeria to increase agricultural lending by 14% through microfinance institution, farmers cooperative, I think Bank of Agriculture should be included. There is no way you can talk of smallholder scheme, loan to farmers without talking of Bank of Agriculture. So Bank of Agriculture should be included. That's my amendment.
Any seconder to this amendment? Where is Honorable Usman Baye? Chair works, once you second, would want to see you. Or you see Honorable Sadu Soli?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For further briefing.
Honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Akin Alabi. I'm from Oyo State, and I represent the good people of Egweda on our federal constituency. I rise to second the amendment ably moved by Honorable Adeyemi. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the committees. This motion is referred to the committees on banking regulation, agricultural production and services, nutrition and food security, finance, and industries for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the eighth order of the day is consideration of two bills standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ihoveri, House Leader. Honorable members, Honorable Ihoveri will move for their consideration now.
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ihoveri, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that the House do consider reports of the following bills here. a bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration and other matters connected therewith, Ondo City, Ondo State, SB 40. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Training and Development of Nigeria to set standards and skills to be attained by individuals or corporate entities seeking to engage in provision of capacity building services in Nigeria to ensure effective practice as for related matters, HB 1550. I think I so move. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Leader of the minority, can you second, please?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, my name is Aliyu Sani Madaki, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The ninth order of the day is consideration of 3 reports of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. Honorable Akim Adeyemi will move for their consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Akim Adeyemi, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move for the consideration of the following bills, Mr. Speaker, that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Ise, Ekiti State, and for the matters. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Is the Deputy Chairman of the committee around? Deputy Chairman of the committee, please can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Salman Idris. I represent the good people of Kababune Jubu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the reports being tendered for consideration by my able chairman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The ninth order of the day is consideration of 3 reports. The 10th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Justice on a bill for an act to amend the Criminal Code Act Cap C38, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide stiffer penalties to selected sections of the Act and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 15th October 2024. Honorable Oshoba will move for its consideration.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'll be doing that on his behalf. My name is Honorable Bayo Balogun, member representing Ibeju Lekki Federal Constituency. I hereby lay that the House to consider the report of the Committee on Justice for the bill for an act to amend the Criminal Code Act Cap C38, Laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2024, to provide stiffer penalties to selected sections of the Act and for related matters, HB 151, and approve the recommendation therein, late 15/10/2024. I so move.
Any seconder? Is the Deputy Chairman of the committee available? No? Honorable Nweke, will you want to second?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mweke Felix Uche. I represent Eleme Tai, Oyigbo Federal Constituency. My dear colleagues, I'm from River State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the chairman of the committee to accept this report. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The 11th order of the day is consideration of report of the ad hoc committee on discrimination against the House of Representatives in the National Honors Award. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 10th October 2024. Honorable Julius Oevere will move for its consideration.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the ad hoc committee on discrimination against the House of Representatives in the National Honors Award and approve the recommendations therein. HR, well, there's no bill. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, my name is Aliu Sanuma Daki, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as ably moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House Leader, can you move for the House to resolve to the Committee of the Whole?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House do resolve to Committee of the Whole. I so move.
The Minority Leader, can you second, please?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion as moved. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House hereby resolved to the Committee of the Whole.
Most distinguished colleagues, the eighth order of the day is consideration of the first bill to be considered is for an act to establish the National Institute for Educational Planning and Administration and other matters connected therewith, Ondo City, Ondo State. I invite Honorable Julius Ihomvere to give the synopsis of the bill. 1 minute, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Professor Julius Ihomvere, ON, DSSRS, on Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Chairman, I know this institution very well in my capacity as former chairman, Basic Education. And it was established as far back as 1992, but they had no bill. But they've been getting money from the National Assembly, just like many agencies. So this is a welcome development that there is now a proposed bill to consolidate, promote the activities of NIEPA, training, consulting, partnership, research, and to promote management in the educational system. I recommend that we pass this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Leader of the House. Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 28, schedules and the long title of the bill be made part of this bill. Clause 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. We said 28, you're saying 30. Yeah, you mean that you're not paying attention. 20 to 28, shadows, the long title. Most respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered is for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Training and Development of Nigeria to set standards and skills to be attained by individuals or corporate entities seeking to engage in provisions of capacity development services in Nigeria to ensure effective practice and for related matters. Again, I invite the Leader of the House to give 1 minute synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, again, this is a welcome bill, essentially to help train people, set standards, so that those who are helping with capacity building and training in many of our projects, there will be a minimum standard of training, exposure, documentation, licensing they must have to do that, so that we can get the true benefits of the invested resources.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 28, schedule, explanatory memorandum, and the long title be made part of this bill. Clause 1 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 26, 27, 28, shadows, explanatory memorandum, the long title. Most distinguished colleagues, the third report to be considered is that of the Committee of Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Ise-Ekiti State, and for related matters. I invite Honorable Hakeem Adeyemi to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
For 1 minute, yes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The bill has passed through the public hearing. Mr. Chairman, you chaired the occasion that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria at Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, make provision for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Ise-Ekiti State, and for the matter. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you very much. This is straight to the point, and we have only 3 clauses. So the question is that clauses 1 to 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title be made part of the bill. Clauses 1, 2, 3, schedules, explanatory memorandum, long title. Most distinguished colleagues, the second report to be considered is that of the Committee of Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Agriculture, Miswa, Bauchi State, to provide full-time courses of agriculture, teaching, instruction and training in the sciences, social sciences, commerce, arts, applied sciences, management, and humanities, and carry out research, innovation, development, and adaptation of teaching techniques and for related matters. I invite, again, Honorable Hakeem to give synopsis, just like you did before. 1 minute. Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Public hearing, report of the committee submitted already. Now for consideration, the bill to consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on the bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Agriculture, Misau, Bauchi State, to provide for full-time courses of agriculture, teaching and instruction and training in the sciences, social sciences, commerce, arts, applied sciences, management and humanities, and carry out research, innovation, development, and adaptation of teaching techniques, and for that matter, I present it for consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Chairman.
Thank you very much. The question is that clauses 1 to 3, schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title be made part of this bill. Honorable, you have a concern. I want you to express it, please. Honorable Abiante.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I remain Awajin Nombek Dagomie Abiante. I represent Andoni Opoponkora Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, yes, this bill has gone through the processes. My concern is institutions of this category, of this class, is supervised by Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria. And even if you look at the title, the college that is proposed to be established is omnibus. And this council does not have the competence to supervise courses in commerce, in social sciences, in management, in humanities. So I do not know if we are tilting away from the establishment of these kind of colleges, because they are supposed to be specialized in the areas of agriculture and applied sciences. That's just my only concern. Thank you.
Yes, Chairman, Rules and Business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I hope, Honorable Chairman, you are listening to the conversation because you have your right of reply.
At this point of consideration, Mr. Chairman, is just to include the name of this institution to that provision where the names of the institutions are listed. We are not reviewing the entire act, so those aspects are no longer under consideration at this point, just to add the name of the institution.
Blabiante, do you understand that it's only the schedule that we are adding to, that those issues are not under consideration? Are you... Let's hear the...
Yes, I understood what he said, but true to it, this should be a parliament that is very vast and understands what she's doing. If we are establishing a college of agriculture for Misao, we understand. But where we make it omnibus, to the extent that we are adding all the costs, and it is not even hidden. Even in the title, it is very explicit that this college that we are trying to establish, apart from offering courses in agriculture and allied subjects, it is also going to undertake all of this. We should do it such that tomorrow, it shouldn't be a reference point that all colleges of agriculture will now begin to offer even law, begin to offer psychology, sociology, and all of it. If we are establishing a college of agriculture, it should be for that purpose. And we all know the limitations of what agriculture and allied areas should be. That's my concern. Thank you.
Yes, the great Wase Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, respected colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris. I represent Wase Federal Constituency, Plateau State, by the grace of a member of this parliament. Mr. Chairman, the concern raised by my brother, Honorable Abiante, is very apt because it has the capacity of tilting the objective of the initial bill, which my brother, Chairman Bruce, is talking about. If the mover of the bill just inserted the position of adding the Misau into the initial bill that brought all the institutions of the College of Agriculture together, yes, it will mean it is in tandem, but this one is not just like that, but it has other additions in terms of the course provision. And it has the potency of tilting or drafting the focus of who the institution was established. And I think my advice, as Mr. Chairman, is that we take the part of where just to inside Misau and delete every other one for the main principal act. That will sort every other matter and will maintain like that, because we have other bills too on the same similar subject matter. The one in Ikiti is the same thing. Just inserting the name will do the magic and to solve that problem instead of bringing other controversial issues. And I can tell you for free, sir, even if you take this bill, it will be returned to us, because these are the things that the executive normally go through and say and refuse assent. I'm giving this one for free based on the exposure and experience. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The argument is that College of Agriculture should be a specialized institution. That is the summary of the movement. And that you will be watering the specialist element of that institution down by including parameters that does not define the specialty of that particular institution. Chairman Agric, are you for or against this line of thought?
Mr. Chairman, during the public hearing, this argument came up. But the concept of agriculture, Mr. Chairman, has gone beyond ordinary farming and harvesting. Commercial agriculture, Mr. Chairman, commercial agriculture and entrepreneurship agriculture, and what have you, is what the sponsor of this bill was talking about. It was heavily debated. The Ministry of Agriculture were present, Mr. Chairman, sir, ARCN Executive Secretary was there, and all other sectors of agriculture were there. Our own as the committee is to give leverage for the sponsor of the bill, go into debate, and it was unanimously accepted and approved by the committee and all the stakeholders present, because of the concept of agriculture has gone beyond contemporary agriculture of our forefathers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir.
I want us to debate this because it's going to impact on other establishment bills that will come here or amendment, so that we'll set a standard. You know, before I come back to you, Honorable Idris, let me hear the newest prince from Ijebuland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name remains Honorable Ademori Aliukuye. I, speaking from Shomolu Federal Constituency in Lagos State, I rise to support the argument of the chairman of Committee on Agric Institutions, in as much as we appreciate the concern raised by our leader, Right Honorable Wase, and my friend, Honorable Abianse. You know, I want us to bear in mind that the concept of agriculture has transcended the ordinary issue of just agric farming, like we talk in the olden days. The concept of agric education now deals with all the value chain that flows from agricultural produce. For example, there is no way you're going to talk about agriculture now that you won't talk about commerce. It includes commerce. It includes agric economics. It includes agric engineering. There's so many aspects to it these days. And this is what this bill seeks to cure. And I think we should just leave it as it is. Like in support of what the chairman equally said, is the fact that this thing has been heavily debated. Stakeholders' opinion have been taken. And I think that having gone through that rigor, sir, we should just allow it to stay as it is, sir.
Okay, let me clear something out. Why we have committee of the whole is that it is superior to public hearing, committee work, and all the rest of them. You finish all those work, it comes here. This is the cleaning house. So even if those who participated in public hearing or the committee had an error, it does not justify that if once it comes here, it must go through. You see the people seated here, they are the ones who give the final nod to any bill. So reference to the process is normal, but that does not justify that it has a final gavel on it. The final gavel will come here. Before I yield the floor to Honorable Wase, I'm coming to you, my brother. Please, the Prince, Kuye. I saw when you did the analysis of how agriculture has transcended beyond mere farming. And you listed that commerce is involved, and I agree with you. You also mentioned management is involved, and I agree with you. But where is the place of humanities in agriculture? Where is the place of social sciences in agriculture? What is the place of arts in agriculture? Because agriculture is a science. It's called agricultural sciences. So we still have conventional universities. If this agricultural college is doing the work of a conventional university, then what job will conventional universities do? That is just what I want you to claim me on. The place of arts, social sciences, humanities, as mentioned in this bill, that the role it plays in the study of agricultural science. Let him finish first. Okay, you see that, no answer. Thank you, I understand, Prince.
Your Excellency, Mr. Chairman, respected colleagues, once again, my name is Ahmed Idris. I think you have aptly captured everything. And that's why we have polytechnics and we have monotechnics. This institution falls under the category of monotechnics. The essence is to create speciality and develop particular skill. It's not to say that other courses will not be taught in terms of GS, general studies, and commerce, whatever. But the main focus of this institution is to create research, boost agricultural production, and help in food security. By the time you now want to take the courses that are supposed to become, why not to call it Polytechnic, College of Agriculture, Polytechnic, something like that. And then you now know you have changed because the awarding institution and the supervising institutions that are concerned are also having a role to play. And the funding, let us get away out of it. By the time you begin to diversify the courses and introduce other courses that are not much relevant, we may lose focus in terms of our research. Sir, for me, agriculture remains the most viable opportunity in the country. Much more than the petrol. And if you take what is happening in other sister states, countries, go to Ghana and see what they are doing in agricultural research. We are not yet there. Let us not be wasting public funds where we can consolidate to do much and then waste it in doing things that will not help in the growth. Commerce is something, yes, necessary. Polytechnics are there to offer that kind of position, and the universities are there to do that. I want to beg that.
Thank you.
It takes nothing out of us when we focus and retool our thought for better lots of this country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I want to yield the floor to Billy, Honorable Billy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Not you, Honorable Kuye, Billy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I remain Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Asawaro. Represent the good people of Orewa Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Benin chief. Yes, Mr. Chairman, first of all, I want to congratulate the mover of the bill. However, I would like to actually reemphasize the need of not watering down this bill because this is a specialized institution. Yes, it's true that the intentions might be okay of including maybe related courses because of maybe the times we are in. You want to add commerce, even AI. But we must have explanations that are very relevant when it comes to specialization in this case. So this is University of Agriculture. Yes, I would like to concur with our leader, Right Honorable Wasi, that when you talk about specialized institutions, we want to be very careful by not bringing in courses that will not be very relevant. If we want to actually liken this to the medical profession, when they tell you somebody is an oncologist, it's completely different from somebody that's a gynecologist. And you find out that when they are going through these specializations, they don't have to take them through the same colleges. So okay. I would want to say we can actually delete these things because we see how it can send a wrong message, whereby you find a social science lecturer in a specialized institution that's supposed to be in agricultural research. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Billy.
Yeah.
Let us hear, the leader will be the last to speak. That is why you're the leader. So let us hear from my great friend.
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Sada Sole.
Mr. Chairman, this bill is in order. Yes, the college has a co-mandate of agriculture as an educational path. But it has to focus on other related fields in order for the institution to look inclusive, in the sense that it will provide educational training, it will provide research, it will provide extension services, it will provide sustainability in even transferring education. So I think for us to narrow down this college to only agriculture.
Because it's a College of Agriculture.
Mr. Speaker,
I've never seen you struggle in a debate like this.
Mr. Speaker, when you say university,
yeah, one of the best brain here. But I've never seen. He's one of the best brain here. You can see how he's struggling to. Yes, hard fact.
So, Mr. Chairman, understand me very well. Understand me very well. I'm not being semantic. I'm not being semantic.
Just answer this question.
Mr. Chairman, this is we are making a law, and the law has to be futuristic. The law has to be futuristic.
But there is a place for conventional universities.
Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Just imagine college. Just imagine College of Medical College of Medical Sciences,
right,
giving degree in dramatic act. Just imagine that. Fine arts coming out degree coming out from College of Medical Sciences.
Mr. Chairman, we should not look at the semantic of the title of the institution.
So you are saying that you agree we have to adjust it?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm getting from you. What is the point of order, Chairman? Chairman, this is emanating from you. Allow others to contribute, you know.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
It's emanating from the Agric. I think the issue, whenever we are on consideration, is to look at the specific clauses that are before us. Now, the specific clauses don't show any aberration. If the title is our issue, what we should do, what we normally do, is for somebody to move for the correction of the title, such that we tweak it in such a way as to remove those things we are talking about. Otherwise, the clauses we are considering are clear and don't include the issue.
You are on the same page with the chair.
So I move that we remove those unwanted points from the title and go ahead and consider this bill and get it on, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairman, yes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the House is the robust House is truly the House of the people. Mr. Chairman, the report, the clause by clause, have solved this problem. That was what the mover, the sponsor of the bill, presented. But the committee recommendation with a sponge irrelevance of the art and everything. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the table,
please allow him, he has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, what the committee recommended was a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria at Cap 812, laws of the Federation of Nigeria.
No, press it again. Press it.
Okay, so now, Mr. Chairman, for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Misa Bauchi State, that is what the committee recommended, and that is what is on the table for consideration. Federal College of Agriculture, Misa Bauchi State, and later matters.
Thank you very much. If we refer you to the other paper, you will see that what you read, when you gave synopsis, this was exactly what got published here. So, but let's take it as an error. Since the chairman has said that what's supposed to be is not what is here. So, and there is a motion for the amendment of the title. Chairman, can you second it? The motion that been moved, second it so that we can move on.
Mr. Chairman, sir, everybody, I seconded the motion moved by the chairman, rules of business.
Now, but if we are seconding, we need to know what are we removing and what are we leaving. Leader, before we vote on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Because it's a long title we want to amend.
You see, usually when you do this type of initiative, you create some space for the institution to expand its courses to align with the future. That's why when the university is established, they have so much land that they may not cover in 50 years. It is anticipating that they would grow. Mr. Chairman, the politics of agriculture, which is captured in the social sciences, is bigger than agriculture itself. Even just where to locate that institution, where to locate a state farm. In Edo, we had a problem.
Leader, you're taking us back to the arguments.
Yes, because we want to eliminate certain things. If you check your phones and check agriculture, art of agriculture, or agriculture art, you'll be amazed how much it tries to educate us. Because I saw the word art there, that's why I picked on art. Agriculture art about agriculture, encourages artists to investigate the visual resources of the science and practice that sustains human life. It tries to deepen, to develop an understanding and appreciation of food and fiber production, especially among people not traditionally acquainted with agriculture. The agriculture arts involve anything related to agriculture and the farm life experience. And they provide you with unbelievable pictures to let you know what agriculture arts is all about. If you travel from Madrid to Zaragoza in Spain, what you see, the art of agriculture, will make you want to come down from the train and enjoy the beauty. What I want to suggest is that in doing that amendment of the title, we leave some space for related courses.
You know, when you're making law, you're making it.
It may be a college of agriculture, but there's a lot. I propose the University of Sports here, and I believe in doing research about that school. I discover it's not just about sports. For sport marketing, sports business, sports engineering, sports technology, you name it. So we should not just dismiss it. They have implications.
So are you saying that College of Agriculture,
yes,
even when the chairman has said that they expound social sciences, arts, and humanities?
Can have a diploma in the politics of agriculture.
Politics of agriculture. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, let me, I think we have to rule on this, please.
Yes. Chairman, thank you very much, sir. In responding to the last submission, sir, by the special grace of God, I read agriculture up to the PhD level. And in the study of agriculture, we did law, the law of contracts. We did psychology, we did sociology, we did engineering. I did the same engineering courses with engineers up to my 4th year. That does not make me an engineer. It doesn't make me an engineer. It does not remove the fact that I studied agriculture. I cannot begin to demand for a certificate in law because I had some borrowed courses in law. It does not remove the fact that I went to a faculty of agriculture. at the River State University and at the University of Nigeria. It doesn't. The act of agriculture that Prof alluded to is not the act as a study, the act is the practice. The practice, there's the understanding of this English. He said the practice, yes, the practice of agriculture encompasses all of this. But in establishing an institution that is specialized to train us, we shouldn't begin to call it Faculty of Agriculture and Law. Those of you who read law, sir, you specialize in certain areas of law. There is a law of technology. There's oil and gas law. That does not make you an engineer. And it is not what you begin to, maybe we will begin to establish Nigerian Law School of Engineering, Arts, Commerce, Social Sciences, and we call it Nigerian Law School. We have solved this problem. There's no need to go back. Let us retain the title the way it is. College of Agriculture. And we know that before you graduate from that college, you must have gotten trainings in every other aspect that would make you qualified to practice the art and the science of agriculture. That is what it has always been. There are several other colleges that have been established before. This is just to make it about the 17th College of Agriculture. Thank you very much.
Please, honorable members, we have dwelt on this so much. We need to move on. The chairman has spoken. He said this thing was not captured in the manner the committee recommended it. You cannot untwist the chairman. So all we need now is that since he has seconded the motion that it should be amended, he should propose to us what the title should read so that we can vote on it.
Mr. Chairman, for clarity's sake, I, Honorable Akim Adeniyi Adeyemi, the Chairman of Agriculture as an institution, the recommendation of the committee on the bill sponsored by Honorable Misal is a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of the Federal College of Agriculture, Misal, Bauchi State. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank you. Any seconder to this amendment? Let's give to Chief Whip.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Malam Dr. Usman Bello Kumo, member representing our federal constituency, I'm from Gombe State, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the chairman of the committee. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So it becomes clause 1 to 3. Long title as amended. Explanatory memorandum. Most distinguished colleagues, the third report to be considered is that of the Committee of Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on the bill for an act to amend the Federal University of Agriculture Act, CAP, F22, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Akko, Nike, Enugu State, and for related matters. I invite Honorable Akim Adeniyi again to give us 1 minute synopsis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill has also passed through the public hearing. The committee has recommended, Mr. Chairman, the report of the committee submitted, particularly the absence of a Federal University of Agriculture in the entire Southeast was the main focus and point that the House to consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Federal University of Agriculture Act Cap F22 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Akko, Nike, Enugu State, and for related matters. I so present for consideration, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 3, schedule explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill be made part of this bill. Clauses 1 to 3, the shadows, explanatory memorandum, the long title. Most distinguished colleagues, the fourth report to be considered is that of the Committee on Justice on a bill for an act to amend the Criminal Code Act Cap C38, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to provide for stiffer penalties to selected sections of the Act and for related matters. I invite Honorable Oshoba to give the synopsis of the bill. Just a minute, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, my distinguished colleagues. I remain Olumide Oshoba, representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi Ode, and Odeda Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State. Very briefly, this amendment has to do with suicide. The world over, people that attempt suicide they don't criminalize suicide, but they actually need help. So we're trying to decriminalize suicide and remove the 1-year sentence for people that attempt suicide. Thank you very much.
Can you say that again?
Decriminalize attempted suicide by people because it's in the code that anyone that attempts to commit suicide is given 1-year sentence. But instead, those that attempt suicide should be taken care of. They should not be sentenced to 1-year imprisonment. If they attempt, they should be given help. They should be taken into custody and rehabilitated. Thank you.
So let me understand, instead of going to prison, they should be taken to a custody where they'll be taken care of?
Yes.
Is that what the bill is covering?
That's part of the section. And then the other section has to do with people.
So the bill is proposing rehabilitation?
Yeah, rehabilitation and deleting 1-year sentence for attempted suicide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is that clauses 1 to 9, explanatory memorandum and the long title of the bill be made part of this bill. Clause 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, explanatory memorandum, long title. Honorable colleagues, the fifth report, which is the last one for today, is on the order paper. If you can turn to it. So the fifth report to be considered is that of the Ad hoc Committee on Discrimination against the House of Representatives in the National Honors Award. I invite Honorable Julius Ihombere to give the synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, Professor Julius Ihombere, Owen Federal Constituency, Edo State. The recommendations of the ad hoc committee are outlined in clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The first being to commend the President for using his discretion judiciously to award the GCON National Honor to Right Honorable Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, but also stating that same recognition should apply to the Deputy Speaker of the House and the Deputy Senate President and all other leaders of both chambers of the National Assembly to reflect their equal status. We also, as recommendation 2, that the legislature needs to do more in telling its own story because we are not doing enough, hence the skewed perception of press reportage and the misinformed public in what has contributed to the misconceived view of the House and Senate, with one being referred to as lower chamber and the other as upper chamber, or as the Senate President being referred to as chairman of the National Assembly. And we need to do more with a view to correcting the erroneous description of one chamber of the National Assembly as being superior to the other. The third is that the procedure for joint sittings of the National Assembly should be structured in such a way as to alternate the roles of the presiding officers of each chamber of the National Assembly. For instance, the Speaker could take the opening remarks and the Senate President's the closing remarks, and vice versa, to gradually correct the erroneous impression of one chamber being superior to the other. We also recommended that the establishment of a National Assembly Service Award through the instrumentality of a bill where excellence, service, and dedication will be rewarded, just like the Congressional Gold Award, which, as you all know, is not easy to receive, but highly respected. And finally, that there's a need to review the National Honors Act Cap N 43, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, in conformity with present realities of the nation's political existence and transformation, as that law was actually enacted in 1964. Mr. Chairman, these recommendations were reached after extensive conversations and examination of relevant documents in the interest of the National Assembly, in particular
Thank you.
the House of Reps. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Leader. Honorable colleagues, the ad hoc committee has finished their job, laid their report, and has spoken to the report to balance the equation between the Senate and the House of Representatives in the spirit of bicameral legislature. They're saying what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. That the House of Rep is not deputizing the Senate. So if the Senate President is given a particular award, the Speaker should be given the same award. If the same is extended to Deputy Senate President, the same should be extended to Deputy Speaker. And that is the 4 presiding officers recognized by our bicameral system, that anything outside that will not be in line with the spirit of justice and bicameral. But I did not see there where we mentioned that previous presiding officers who has been in this position supposed to also be accorded such honor, because it would be unfair for example, the former speaker to sit side by side with the current speaker and he will not have the national honor awarded to him, attached to his name. The same for the deputy speaker who is seated here. It will be off for him and myself to be standing somewhere and my honor is higher than the honor of my predecessor. So I didn't see that in that report. But it's for the House to contribute. It's not for the chair to rule without the opinion of the House. So I'll leave it back to the House. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ahmed Idris. I represent Wasefere constituency of Plateau State. I think maybe the chairman of the ad hoc committee is being modest. I remember I wasn't opportune to attend the meeting because of other engagement, but I said in my contribution that we should place apart all other principal officers previously, not only presiding officers, because majority leader of the House or leader of the House and the Senate are normally considered for the same award, but they differ in terms of the placement. And I said that should happen. The same thing with the minority leadership. They are giving award, and so we should correct the abnormally and then place the previous ones appropriately. That was my input, and I still stand by my own input, sir. Thank you.
Yes. I'm wondering whether the committee has anything to say to this, why the principal officers were not considered, especially the past principal officers and presiding officers, because what is raising is germane. These people have served the nation. People might just see it as a position of status, but the question is, have they made contribution with a lot of sacrifice to move the nation forward? The answer is yes. And if you are honoring even people who have not worked in the public sector, to make their own contribution, who are in private sector, these ones who have served the nation should be recognized, and it's supposed to be part of that recommendation list. So I think in the course of this deliberation, somebody should move for us to amend the recommendation and add one to the number 5, or amend existing one to reflect the aspirations and the desires of the Parliament in the spirit of bicameral legislation and sustainability of the pride of the institution. Because what we are doing today is not about those who are occupying the position now or those who occupied before, but for the institution going forward into the future. Yes. So, do we take the contribution of Right Honorable Idris Wase as an amendment to the resolution? And if yes, who is seconding it? I want a member of the committee to second. Who was a member of that committee? Honorable Sada Salihu will second.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the former Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Idris Wasi. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment that the recommendation list include adjusting to reflect past presiding and principal officers, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. All right, so I'll just ask, is still on this? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, distinguished colleagues. My name remains Honorable Tese Ugbo.
Communicate, I'm coming to you after him, and then we'll round up.
Mr. Chair, I was just thinking as we're debating this issue, as members of the House of Representatives, is there anything wrong if every member of the House is also accorded, even if it's the lowest national honor at the point of being inaugurated into the House? As members of Parliament, I believe that we all deserve an honor, even if it's the lowest, even if it's the MON or the smallest one, or even if it's a new honor created to recognize the contributions and the participation of members who have been elected into the House of Representatives. Even if it's MHR or whatever, but I believe that it can be introduced. It's just a suggestion, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, as something that maybe could be considered for every member who has passed through these hallowed chambers. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives can be also accorded a certain national honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because this was not an issue within the mandate of the committee that was set up, who have reported. I suggest that that issue be tabled before the House in the form of a motion, which will now be referred to the relevant committee, because this will be going above and beyond the mandate of this ad hoc committee. We gave them a concise mandate for which, to me, they have discharged the responsibility effectively. So if the House is in agreement, he can come up through a motion. Are we in agreement? Carried? Yeah, you can come up with a motion, maybe in the General House, we can take it up from there. So I ask, okay, communicator, just you, and then we round up.
The chairman, dear colleagues, I'm Honorable Kaleja Adeboye Paul, PhD. I raise this concern irrespective of the fact that we have, the motion has been moved and amended. I need a bit of clarification. And my clarification is in the area of the fact that why I do not have any problem in making parity in terms of recognition of the principal officers, who are serving when awards are given. My concern is extending such parity to past principal officers. Will it not amounting to making law in retrospect? I like to be educated by those who are learned. Are we allowed to make law retrospectively for those who have gone? Would they be called back to award them the corresponding title? I'd like to be corrected. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me mention that we are not making laws. We are adopting a resolution of a committee, and resolutions will be communicated to the appropriate quarters. And let me also mention, to my mind, there is no effusion of time when it comes to recognizing people who have served the nation. There's no effusion of time. There's no time limit. So if you recognize that people have served the nation and you want to give them an honor, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not about law. It is at the discretion of Mr. President. We're only saying, if you want to give us in the parliament at all, the presiding officers and the principal officers balance it. This was the mandate given to them. And we are saying in balancing it, please let us also recognize a few of them who have served the nation in various capacities before now, so that we'll have an equal status whenever we sit. Okay, having said that, the question is that recommendation 1 to 6 be made part of the recommendation of this report. Recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leader, please move that we revert to plenary to consider reports from the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to move that the House do revert to plenary so the chairman can provide the House with a comprehensive report of what happened with the committee.
Thank you, Leader. Minority Leader, can you second, please?
Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary to consider the report. I do second.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion that we revert to plenary to consider the report, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary to consider a report from the Committee of the Whole. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered a report of a bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration and other matters connected therewith and approved clauses 1 to 28, the shadows and the long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Training and Development of Nigeria to set standards and skills to be attained by individuals or corporate entities seeking to engage in provisions of capacity development services in Nigeria to ensure effective practice and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 28, the schedule, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Ise Ekiti State, and for related matters. Approved clauses 1 to 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Agriculture, Missouri, Bauchi State, to provide full-time courses of agricultural teaching, instruction and training in the sciences, social sciences, Commerce Act, Applied Sciences, Management and Humanities, and carry out research, innovation, development, adaptation, and of teaching techniques and for related matters. Approved clauses 1 to 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill as amended. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on the bill for an act to amend the Federal University of Agriculture Act, Cap F22, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004, to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Akon Ike, Enugu State, and for related matters, and approved clauses 1 to 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Justice on the bill for an act to amend the Criminal Code Act Cap C38, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide stiffer penalties to selected sections of the Act and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 9, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. And finally, honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Ad hoc Committee on Discrimination Against the House of Representatives in the National Honors Award, and approve recommendations 1 to 5, and approve an amendment to include an additional recommendation as recommendation 6 to the report. Leader, please move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument of the Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do adopt the report, the comprehensive report from the Committee of the Whole, and adopt them as working documents of the House. I so move.
Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanu Madaki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Thank you. Those in support of this motion that have been moved, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The report of the Committee of the Whole is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament. Leader, please move that the House do adjourn till tomorrow, same time, same place.
Mr. Speaker, the erudite, very posh speaker, who still looks very fresh, doesn't seem like he wants us to go. But I have to do my job, sir. I rise to move that the House do adjourn plenary to tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m., same venue, this very venue. I so move.
Thank you, Leader of Leaders. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, same place, same time. I do second, sir.
Before I throw the question, let me appreciate you for always being here in the theater of lawmaking in Nigeria. Only surgeons or those learning from the surgeons enter into the theater. What you do for Nigeria deserves recognition. I appreciate the sacrifice to sit here from beginning to end, making law for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I doff my cap for you. And I keep doing it because whether we have good laws or bad laws is determined by these few people sitting here. And I really, really appreciate you. Having said that, a motion for adjournment has been moved and it has been seconded. Those in support that will do adjourn till tomorrow, same time, same place, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned till tomorrow, same time, same place.